This is Norns RAGNOROK. It's our Viking role-playing game.
Okay.
It takes place in the 10th century, but everything that the Norse believe mythologically is true.
Okay.
And you are thrown in the middle of a
It's not?
It depends on who you're talking to. What sets our system apart from other gaming systems? We use a set of Elder Futhark runes to play the game instead of dice.
Okay. I'm loving this.
This removes all of the complicated math. It speeds the game up, keeps players engaged at the table because the gameplay is reactive.
Okay.
If you've got time, I can run you through.
I would love to immediately.
So
you had me at runes.
So all the characters, all the monsters have two primary stats, Essence and Destiny. Essence is how many runes they have in their bag at their disposal. Destiny is how many runes they're going to draw from their bag every turn. Essentially their action. This character is going to draw 2 runes from his bag, add them to his Void rune, which remains in his hand, basically your free action every turn, and then you're ready to start your turn. A very basic level of play. Simply describe what you're doing, and for every action, spend a rune. Run into the cave, stab the kobold, and block if he attacks me on his turn.
Okay.
Now this is reactive. If I haven't...
I'm sorry, can you do that for me one more time,
Sure.
the last step?
Run into the cave, stab the kobold, block if he attacks me on his turn as a contingency.
Fantastic.
So this system is reactive. If I haven't gone yet and I'm attacked, I can spend a rune to block the attack to prevent the damage. However, if I've gone first and I burn all of my runes on attacking, every attack that comes at me will hit and deal full damage. So you have to tactfully decide how to play your runes, and it balances the turn order, the benefit that comes with going first, and the penalty that usually comes with going last, all balances out.
Okay.
However, as you're building your character, these runes you're assigning to abilities depending on your character class. So on this specific turn, I have access to my Disarming Strike, as well as my Slashing Stance.
Okay.
So now, what I could do is instead of just running into the cave right away, I'm going to activate my Slashing Stance, which gives me a free attack whenever I move. So now when I run into the cave, I'm going to automatically attack as I finish the move. And instead of blocking, what I'm going to do as a contingency, when the kobold comes into range, I'm going to use my Disarming Strike to disarm him before he can attack me.
Okay, so there's a lot of strategy of using even the same things different ways and making choices with them that have real consequences.
Yes, well the consequences are huge too, because these runes are also your hit points.
Okay.
If I just took damage, I'm going to draw a rune at random from my bag. 1, 2, 3, stun, wound, death.
Okay.
So until I heal, that rune is trapped on the character sheet, and I've lost that
hit point as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that ability I no longer have access to until I heal. Your healer can lose their healing spell in the first turn of combat.
Okay.
And the monsters go through the same process.
What kind of function would a healer have if they lost something like their healing ability?
It would all depend on how they build their character. So our character creation, we have panels.
Okay.
So we have active powers, passive powers, and skills. When you're building your character, you're going to take your runes, the Void rune goes in the center.
Oh my gosh.
And then as long as it's adjacent, you can take that ability.
Do you leave your book open at the table like that whenever you're creating characters too? Do some people play it that way? Like,
I mean, during character creation.
Oh, just during character creation?
But I mean, you can, write it all down.
So, yeah. So there is there's a physical guide in the book that you do with placing runes that creates characters.
Right. But this is essentially a skill tree.
Unbelievable.
However, we reward character death. So I mean, you're a Viking. You want to die gloriously in battle, right? When your character dies, all of the other players get together and start telling the tales of your great deeds. For every story they tell, you're going to take a full bag of runes, draw a rune, place it in front of you. However, your GM has been keeping track. For every sin and misdeed, he's going to return a rune to your bag.
Okay.
After everything is done, he's going to draw a rune from his bag. If it matches one in front of you, the Valkyries come down and escort your character into Valhalla.
Okay.
That happens, you as a player level up. And every character after that unlock this outer ring of abilities on the character creation.
Got you. I love that it's right there in the book and you place the runes on it. That's phenomenal.
And what's great is you can have two characters with the same class, no two abilities the same. Because, well, I could be...
Because you can't even place them there. Like, I mean, you could stack them if you wish.
Right, I mean,
but
I could build out my Galder this way, but he chose these abilities instead.
Yeah.
So it's completely customizable.
That is so cool.
And then the more characters you have in Valhalla, the more options you have during character creation. After a certain number, you can start taking skills from other skill trees. And even one of the highest ones is you can come back as an Hyrion. Essentially, Odin has chosen you and sent you back to the mortal realm to help out the party. So even though your character is dead, don't get rid of the character sheet because you can bring it back later.
Right on, right on. Thank you, Odin.
I have one too many eyes for
Right.
We do have our mythology books.
Okay.
So Andrew, who's the company's owner and game designer, he translated the prose and poetic Edda from Old Norse and English himself.
Okay.
And that's this book here, packed full of fantastic artwork, fully glossaried and indexed.
Wow.
But he spent 2 years translating, and then another year and a half reworking the translations into something that reads like a novel.
Okay.
Because once you pull it out of the original language, it loses anything that made it memorable.
I love it. It's beautiful. So, I love that. I love that you're informing the setting and the game master through the actual translated and reissued classics of Norse mythology. Norse mythology. Fantastic.
Well, Norse and Celtic.
And Celtic. Very good. Fantastic work. So, like, unified in its image and design. Just beautiful. Beautiful quality. Love the engine for character creation. Check them out. Pendelhaven and creatures from what is the actual Fate of the Norns?
Fate of
Ragnarok is the game.
Yes. Creatures from fairy tale and myth is actually our monster manual. Okay. Every monster is separated out into 5 sizes.
Okay.
Including the ones that you think would be unique, like the Fairy Queen or Krampus. So
they still,
that way you can, customize it.
So is it sizes versus CRs, or is there still a CR element?
So, for our gaming system, you're going to go based off of level. Because the way the level works is that's going to determine how many points you have to associate with your essence and destiny.
Okay.
However, we do have it translated into 5th edition D&D. Okay. Where we do have CR values.
Okay, so all of the Norse monsters and creations are available converted to 5e. Bring the Norse to your 5e games if you're still playing that.